Max Rabbits. I'm a musician from Brooklyn, and I've recently started working with Moog a little bit as they've been developing the modular systems, or the return of the modular systems. Right here we have the 15. This is the smallest of the modular systems. And then I have a Eurorack modular synthesizer that's just essentially sequencing the system and controlling the melodies and the pitches, all of the envelopes within the system. And with the 15, essentially, it's structured in a similar way to the classic Mini Moog Model D, which it has 3 oscillators, and you see there's 2 utility oscillators here. These are the 921Bs, and then you have the Moog 921 oscillator, which gives you a little bit more flexibility in terms of the sonic character and the timbre. You have more wave shaping, as well as some of the pulse width controls and options for scaling. And then the 921Bs, which are more utility oscillators, they're run by the 921 oscillator driver, which allows me to send pitch to the driver and have it control both of the oscillators simultaneously. And then moving on, so you have the 3 oscillators in the system. Up here you have the classic Moog ladder voltage controlled low pass filter. It gives you some CV patch points, so you have more flexibility in terms of control voltage than the classic synthesizer, and that's sort of the benefits of modulars. With the patch points, you have a lot of flexibility in terms of what you can send in and out of the module. And then over here we have something that doesn't have as much CV, but it's a fixed filter bank. So essentially these are all different frequency bands that then you can accentuate by turning them up, so you have a lot of control over sort of the spectrum of the sounds individually for a lot of tone shaping. You have 2 classic ADSR envelopes, as well as 2 VCAs, voltage controlled amplifiers, and those can go from linear to exponential in terms of the response to the envelopes. And then down here you have a 4-channel mixer with your outputs. And then you have some more utility non-resonant filters, low pass and high pass for more sound sculpting, and then a white and pink noise source. And then these sort of allow you to kind of send more control signals throughout the system if you expand more of the modular systems and want to incorporate more. And that's pretty much the whole structure of the 15. It can go from very low to very, very high. And then you can hear the envelopes are also extremely fast, so you can get very sort of snappy, more percussive sounds. And then with the stacking of oscillators, you can get these really harmonically rich passages. With the FM in the system, get these sort of very harmonically complex sounds. Still go back to these very easily melodic. Sort of a more classic Moog sound. So the analog rhythm is giving clock to my modular, and then the clock is driving Make Noise Renee sequencer, and then as well the sequencer is running into the Make Noise Wagglebug, which is a random source, and that's all being routed to a quantizer, so then I can restrict the scale and have it be musical while still getting totally random passages. So it just allows me to control a lot of aspects of the 15 without using a keyboard and, you know, integrating more modern equipment into this thing that's essentially the same as it was in the 60s. This is like a totally different sort of thing. The scale of this sort of restricts what's going on, and I think a lot of the interesting strides being made in Eurorack is more in the digital aspects of the modular. And this is just so classic. You can tell because of the size, you're able to use like higher quality components, and just the sound is so robust. I mean, if you compare them, you can get really interesting sounds out of a Eurorack modular, but a Moog modular is, you know, like a classic beast, so it's sort of unrivaled in terms of the just strength of the sound. And then just the ability to attach the synthesizer and not just have a pre-wired Moog keyboard. It's a different sort of experience, and it allows for more sort of exploration and also sort of teaching you how the synthesizer works in a different way than just being able to turn it on and play a key and it makes a sound, you know. It forces you to learn. Yeah, I love being able to use these systems.
Awesome.
Be able to buy one. I like being able to play them.